Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's day 3 of our, I guess you could say, our version of Vlogmas. We're kind of mixing vlogs in with some, just some history about some cars. But today we're going to talk about the Subaru, and I majorly got effed over with it. So for those of you who know, I got involved in a hit and run, and the insurance company, the car is totaled. It's got frame damage. But from what the guy could see, it isn't totaled to him from the pictures, so they only said it was $7,000 worth of work. However, if you look at the car, it's got frame damage. The front end's pushed back 2 inches. You can see that when the hood is shut. Devin tried to flatten out the hood the most he can, and that's where the hood latch is. So the only option we really have is to try to fix it ourselves. When I took it to the repair shop to get a second estimate, because of this rail right here is tweaked out and down. You can see it's bent all the way down there. You see it right there? It's bent, and so I tried to take it to them to get that done so I can at least get my car paid for, and they called me a week later and like, hey, we got your parts in, and I was like, well, I didn't order parts. I wanted a second opinion on my car. Like, it's got frame damage. And then the guy, because I was like, it's also been wrecked once before, like, I want to make sure everything's okay, because this is pushed back about 2 inches. The radiator hose has actually been eaten by the pulley down here. So I took it over to them, and they basically told me, if you're not going to fix it, we're not going to tear it apart, because insurance isn't going to pay me to do it if you decide not to fix it. But I was going to pay them if I decided not to fix it. And then they're like, well, you didn't tell us that it had been wrecked before, that it had a rebuilt title. And I was like, yes, I did. I told you that when I dropped the car off. And now I don't know what to do with it. There's a lot of other shops don't really want to deal with something that's been wrecked before. So basically I'm stuck only getting a couple of grand for a car that's worth 3 or 4 times more than that I've got over 20 grand in. So Devin is going to try to do his best to repair what he can. I'm really worried about this support rail down here that's caused this to bend in a little bit. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm scared it's not going to be reliable anymore, if that makes sense. So it's been a really shitty experience, because it's not enough money for me to go buy another car that is equivalent to this, because it's an all-wheel drive car that's only got 50,000 miles on it. I mean, where am I going to find another all-wheel drive car with 50,000 miles on it that's equivalent to this, that's not old as I'll get out? So I don't know what we're going to do. Devin right now, he's like, I don't want to get rid of it, because it is still a running and driving car, minus it doesn't have any coolant in it, because this hose is busted. So he said he might try to pull a come along to it, and pull all this out of it, at least so it's out of the way, and then see what's going on with the motor, and repair what he can, and see if it'll run for a little while. And if it comes around a month or so, it's still running good, then I might fix it to what we can ourselves, because it's definitely not enough money for us to pay somebody to fix it. So, but yeah, here's some of the damages. You can see it bent this back and popped the radiator off. I showed you the frame rail piece down here. You see it right there, that's tweaked in. All of this is bent down. You'll see that the fender itself, the fender looks straight. It follows its natural curves, but it's busted out here. It's all messed up right in here. The driver's side headlight is not on its tabs like it's supposed to be. Passenger's is completely busted. My intake popped off of this. The intake horn did. This is actually supposed to sit in flush and was sitting in flush with it. But this fender is out of place too. The gap right here is popped up. All of this, you can see where it's been hitting on the door, here and here. And then this is popped out, but I think that'll pop right back in. The hood, Devin tried to flatten it out. It was a little bit worse, which you can see in some of the other videos. And the hood struts are actually bent too. Not that bad. They'll probably still be usable. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to do, guys. So right now, unfortunately, I'm driving something I don't want to drive, but this was just the icing on the cake. There's little things here and there, like this is busted. I told you the hose, and I'm sure there's some other things that aren't the way they should be either, so we'll have to find those as we go. Anyways, you guys, I hope y'all have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe if y'all haven't already. Y'all hustle harder.